What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and speaking of views, right? You all are here to hear my point of view. But when you hear the word view, do you think of The View? You know, that TV show that's been running for far too long? The one that has a big panel of women who never have any clue what they're talking about. You know, the women who seem to be really opinionated, they weigh in on all of the different topics going on in the world, but they're always misinformed. It's clear that they're given talking points from a certain political party to ride with, and I mean seriously. If you've ever watched this show, even for a few minutes, most likely you lost brain cells. I have never seen a show full of such brain dead people that are able to present idiotic opinions and false information in front of you with such confidence. These women get up there, they have such confidence in themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that, but when you have this false sense of confidence while spreading a bunch of lies, propaganda, and nonsense, then that becomes a problem for me. Now, there has been a fair share of just horrible, horrendous takes that come from this show. But Whoopi Goldberg, by far, may be the stupidest person on this show. And there's a lot of dumb people that have appeared on The View over the years. And you know, over the years, sometimes they would invite voices in, invite personalities in to be part of the panel who actually kind of had some common sense. But every time that happens, it seems like they're kind of stamped and stomped out to be replaced with another woke idiot that has no clue what they're talking about. But you know, this show, it's actually viewed by a lot of people, or at one point it was. And it's scary to me that a lot of middle-aged women across America tune into this show every day, and this is where they get their news from. And this is why I tell people all the time, we are all living in different realities. Me and you, we're living in one reality. We are living in the actual reality, where we pursue truth. And then we have people who get their news from Whoopi Goldberg on The View, and they view the world a totally different way. They're living in a totally different reality because the stories they get, the news they get, they're getting it from people like Whoopi Goldberg and these weirdos on The View. Now, over the past couple of weeks, one of the top controversies in America right now is the Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney collab. You know, Bud Light decided, hey, we're going to take a dude that dresses up as a little girl who makes videos for little girls and little boys, telling them to take hormones and all types of weird stuff. We're going to endorse him. We're going to sponsor him. We're going to make special beer cans with his face on the side. We are going to pay him $1 million, and we are going to ask him to put videos up on TikTok for his child audience, right? Mind you, Dylan Mulvaney is a social media influencer who primarily makes videos for children. That's creepy, right? It's sick and twisted, but that's the reality. So when Bud Light sponsored Dylan Mulvaney in order to, grab a hold of Dylan Mulvaney's fan base, they were trying to promote their beer to his fan base, and his fan base is kids. Anyway, that's the biggest controversy going on right now. If you're subbed to my channel, you've probably heard about it because I've made quite a few videos on it. Well, I know this topic was going to come up over at The View. And who had something to say about it? No other than Whoopi Goldberg herself. And last time I checked, they're not even renewing their contract with her because she's so stupid that even though she promotes the same talking points, she finds herself backed up in a corner often for saying some things that are just completely off the wall, okay? But one thing I've noticed is when Whoopi Goldberg says things that are racist and what people would deem as problematic, it's never as big of an issue. Like Whoopi Goldberg can say the same exact thing that Kanye West says, and Kanye West will lose sponsorships and his job and what have you. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg will be kind of congratulated. But let's go ahead and hear what she has to say about this Bud Light controversy, and then I'll be right back to rip her a new asshole.
Start about this. I'm going to say this out loud. I'm a big Budweiser fan. When I drank, I liked my Budweiser, okay? So I have a lot of feeling about this. Bud Light's ad campaign with trans-influencer Dylan McDermott. Mulvaney, sorry. Now you're breaking ignited.
We have breaking news.
That's right. Ignited an angry conservative backlash and a boycott that included online trends of people posting videos destroying cases of Bud Light in various stupid ways. The company puts out a statement saying they didn't mean to address an issue that divided people. But I want to know, what are you so angry about? Beer does not have it's not a Democrat or a Republican. Yeah. It doesn't have a belief system. It's just beer.
Just a little fun fact for you all. When I was a kid, I literally thought that Whoopi Goldberg and the Predator were the same person. I kid you not. I don't know why, but in my little kid brain, I was just like, they look exactly alike to me. So I always thought it was the same person until I was like embarrassingly old. I was probably like 11 when I realized, wait, Whoopi Goldberg's not the Predator? And it kind of blew my mind, but anyways, the funny part about this is, to me, if you heard that clip, she doesn't even know Dylan Mulvaney's name, right? She called him a completely different name. Yet here she is to share an opinion on this topic. And this is what I hate about people like her. This is what I hate about The View. This is what I hate about our society overall right now, is that everyone wants to put their 2 cents in on something, even when they have no clue what they're talking about. There are so many things going on in the world. There are so many news stories that happen every day. News stories that I could talk about on YouTube, and I don't, because I wouldn't know what I was talking about. I think we need to make it okay again to feel comfortable with not talking about things that you don't know about. Your opinion is not always needed. I understand. We live in 2023. We have social media. We have so many ways to share our opinions. And I'm not here trying to say that people's opinions aren't worth anything and that when I don't agree with people's opinions, it's not worth anything. What I'm here saying is that we have so many people in this day and age that are weighing in on topics that they know nothing about. The View, Whoopi Goldberg, you don't even know Dylan Mulvaney's name. This just goes to show that you're fed your talking points. You haven't done your research. You don't understand the situation. And then they always do that confusion. It's just beer. What's wrong? It's just beer. Remember when it's just a movie. It's just a cartoon. We got freaking trans parades happening on Blue's Clues. I kid you not, we got beavers who have had their chest removed. They got freaking stitches in their chest from top surgery. We got drag queens in freaking Blue's Clues, but it's just a kid's show. Why are you upset? They pull the same thing every time, and I absolutely hate it, and it makes me despise these people because they know what they're doing. They so smugly try to play it off like, what's the issue? Y'all know the issue. The issue has been the same exact issue from the beginning. Y'all are openly targeting kids. And when you look at this Bud Light controversy, you may think, oh, what do kids have to do with Bud Light? Dylan Mulvaney makes videos for kids. Dylan Mulvaney is a child influencer on TikTok. Do you think your grandma's sitting around watching Dylan Mulvaney? No, your kid is. That's who. But every time it's just beer. It's just a movie. It's just a jab. It's just a mask. What's the problem? It's just locking down for 3 weeks. What's the problem? It's just taking away your freedoms. What's the problem? We just want to have sex with your kids. What's the issue? That's what it is. So don't ever let these people pretend like, well, we don't know what the controversy is. It's just beer. I hate that so much because these people know what the issue is. Whoopi Goldberg knows what the issue is here. She might not be educated on the topic. That's obvious. It's obvious. They were like, hey, Whoopi, go out here and say some shit. And hopefully people like it. She don't even know Dylan Mulvaney's name. She probably doesn't even know anything about the rest of the story. But the talking point is to play stupid. This is like their defense every time. Every time. And you know, a few years ago, when a lot of this ideology started spreading, people were like, they're going after kids. They're going to start trying to give these medications to kids. They're going to do these operations on kids. And then they were like, no, we're not. Only adults are going to take these meds. Only adults are going to go through these operations. Only adults are going to be taught about these pronouns and what have you. And then what happened? They started going after kids. They tell you we're not going after kids, and then when states put in new laws so they can't go after kids, they get enraged. But I thought you weren't going after kids in the first place. What? So I'm sick and tired of these weirdo idiots playing stupid. I know they're dumb. I know they're not educated on these topics, but they are smart enough to know what the underlying issue is. And everyone says the same thing. No one cares about you living your little fantasy world in your fantasy world. We don't want you trying to promote your fantasy world to little kids, and we don't want you trying to force us to live in your little fantasy realm. Now, if you and the Predator and Whoopi Goldberg all want to go grind on each other in La La Land with your pronouns while you... Let me not get canceled on YouTube here today. But anyways, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell. And remember, always remain opinionated.